A good evening, our dear listener. Welcome to Explore Online Radio, the home of reliable and authentic news. Bringing you the 9 p.m. news is Murunji Sheila. First, the headlines. Ministry of Health sets up teleradiology center at Mulago. Kampala Capital City Authority inaugurates the City Roads Committee. Uganda Communications Commission warns against bribing of officials to get jobs and licenses. And the United States imposes sanctions on Sudanese generals. Here is the news in details. The Ministry of Health has established a teleradiology center at Mulago National Referral Hospital to aid the electronic transmission of radiological images from CT scan machines at regional hospitals. The move comes as there's a shortage of specialists meant to operate the CT scans installed by the Ministry of Health at regional referral hospitals across the country. According to the Ministry of Health Public Relations Officer Emmanuel Aineviona, the scan results conducted by an operator at the regional referral hospitals will be electronically delivered to radiologists at Mulago for interpretation. He said that as long as the hospitals with CT scans installed have qualified persons to operate the scan, all they require is to deliver the scan to specialist doctors who will provide expert analysis, interpretation, and recommendation. Kampala Lord Mayor Erias Lukwago and KCC Technical Wing, led by Executive Director Dorothy Kisaka, have inaugurated the City Roads Committee that will oversee Kampala's infrastructure development. The committee comprises 28 members, including the Lord Mayor, all Kampala MPs, the Executive Director, the KCCA Deputy Director of Roads and Drainage, all division mayors, all town clerks, and a division engineer from each of the 5 divisions. The work of road repair and the work of road maintenance has been under the supervision of our division leadership, the town clerk, and the division engineers, said Kisaka. She added, "I think it will help us in resolving some of the misunderstandings where the political people may think the money is being misused." The Uganda Communications Commission has warned the general public against bribing its staff in order to get licenses. The Commission emphasized that it does not tolerate any form of corruption. In a statement, it warned against the offering bribes to any UCC staff for a job, a contract, to get a license, or any other service. It also warned its staff against soliciting money on behalf of or receiving any kind of amount while promising to deliver service that UCC provides. Any payments made to UCC must be made against payment registration number accounts, details provided and paid through non-cash methods such as bank deposits and electronic transfers only, the statement said. Government has set up a 9-member committee to draft an internship policy aimed at mitigating strikes by medical interns witnessed over the past few years. The State Minister for Higher Education, John Muyingo, stated that lack of clear regulations right from admission, internship and licensing of medical students has caused challenges that largely explain the plight of medical interns and the cause of strikes. He noted that the policy will cover all health professionals, thereby urging Parliament to support the ministry in mobilizing funds to implement the policy once it is approved. Honorable Robin Anabanja has commissioned 2 new feeder lines and urged locals to use the excellent power lines for productive purposes so as to promote economic development. The commissioned feeder roads include Cheizoba feeder in Bushenyi district and Malinde feeder in Buhweju district. Prime Minister Robin Anabanja was the chief guest at the Bihanga Church function, where she commissioned the power line for Kilembe Investment Limited, the electricity power supplier in Western Uganda. Residents led by Jane Masika Birungi, the CEO of Kilembe Investment Limited, applauded the government for the support through Electricity Regulatory Authority. Police in Masaka City are investigating circumstances under which fire gutted Masaka's biggest nightclub, Ambience, where property worth billions of shillings went up in flames on Friday morning. According to eyewitnesses, the inferno which destroyed the interior of the club happened at around 2 a.m. The fire, whose cause was yet to be established, started in the wee hours of Friday morning at the famous nightclub located opposite Gapco petrol station on Kampala Road in Masaka City. The fire brigade unit of police in Masaka later responded and managed to stop the fire, although lots of property had already been destroyed. On 6 May 2023, the Republic of Burundi will host the 11th high-level meeting of the Regional Oversight Mechanism of Peace, Security and Cooperation Framework for the Democratic Republic of Congo and the region in Bujumbura. The key mandate is to end the recurring cycles of devastating conflict in eastern DRC, which impact on stability and development in the Great Lakes region. The summit will deliberate on the deployment of East African Community troops and their role in dealing with negative forces in the eastern DRC, including the M23. The meeting will review progress and challenges in the implementation of the commitments under the framework signed in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on 24 February 2013. The meeting will focus on the full implementation of the decisions made in the Nairobi and Luanda peace processes, as well as the harmonization of both processes. And in our final story, the US government on Thursday imposed sanctions on Sudan's warring chiefs, declaring that the violence since April 15th constitutes an unusual and an extraordinary threat to the national security and foreign policy of the United States. In an executive order on Thursday, President Joe Biden revisited previously lifted sanctions on Sudan as a state sponsor of terrorism and humanitarian atrocities, freezing any Sudanese assets on U.S. soil and directing the Treasury Secretary to determine warmongers and spoilers of the peace to be sanctioned. The order also directed that any foreign person determined by the Secretary of the Treasury, in consultation with the Secretary of State, to be responsible for or complicit in, or to have directly or indirectly engaged or attempted to engage in assisting warring factions, looting or harming civilians, will have their assets frozen and barred from transacting with the U.S. entities, and proscribed individuals barred from stepping on U.S. soil. This brings us to the end of the 9 p.m. news. Thank you for listening in to Explorer Online Radio. Have a blessed evening.